Hello everyone, this is Al Red Sox Fan coming to you from Al Red Sox Fan YouTube channel. We have the snowstorm coming in, and what better way to celebrate snow than finishing up our 1970s gem set from Strat-O-Matic tournament championship game between the 1972 Reds and the 1974 Dodgers. The Reds were 95 and 67, and the Dodgers were 102 and 60. Both Reds and Dodgers won their 2 games to get to this championship game, and what we are calling the Forgotten Rivalry. On the mound for the Cincinnati Reds is Ross Grimsley, the lefty, 14-8 with 1 save, 3.05 earned run average, will be facing off against Dodger Blue Don Sutton, 19-9 with a 3.23. At the ballpark, we have Philip Reynolds and CP Cards&Dice, our good friend Combat Painter, and Mike McAllister. How you doing, Mike? As Mike says, let's go Reds. Cincinnati starting lineup, Pete Rose is in left, followed by Joe Morgan. Johnny Bench will do the catching, and he'll bat third. Morgan's at second. Batting fourth is TP Tony Perez. He'll play first base. In center field, batting fifth is Bobby Tolan. Dennis Menke mans the hot corner at third base for the Reds. Hal McRae is the designated hitter. This tournament did have a designated hitter. Cesar Geronimo is in right, and he'll bat eighth. Batting ninth, Davey Concepcion at shortstop. For the Los Angeles Dodgers, they're the home team. Davey Lopes is at second, Rhode Island native. He'll lead things off. Bill Russell's at short, batting second. Wynn is in center field. He'll bat third. Mr. Clean Steve Garvey will bat fourth and play first base. Catcher outfielder Joe Ferguson is in right. He gets his first start of the tournament, and he'll bat fifth. The Penguin, Ron Cey, mans the hot corner. With his penguin-like motions for the Dodgers, he'll bat sixth. Tom Paciorek is in left field. He'll bat seventh. Doing the catching, Steve Yeager with the tools of ignorance. And batting ninth, the designated hitter, Lee Lacy. And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver. Appa Chatters at the ballpark along with Jake Cruz. Hope all is well. Thank you for joining us. Rose in the Hall. Absolutely, Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame. You can put a plaque up next to his name saying banned from baseball for gambling on it for baseball operations. So here we go. It's going to be Pete Rose to lead things off against Don Sutton. Sutton's a righty. Rose, a switch hitter, will bat lefty. Sutton nods his head. He deals the Pete Rose championship game on its way. That is a 6-9 off the Sutton card. Lefty. 6-9 and a 5, and Rose smacks this ball into the gap. He's going to run a long, long way. Rose heading for second. He's rounding second on his way to third. The relay throw will not be in time. Charlie Hustle with a lead-off triple to right center. We rolled a 6-9. The split 1 through 6 is a triple. We rolled a 5. So what a way to start off the game for Pete Rose. And Rose, like he's hopped up on 15 cups of coffee, clapping at third base. A leadoff triple. And I'll bring up little Joe Morgan, second baseman. Morgan, another left-handed batter. Sutton takes a deep breath. Dodgers will give up the run for the out. He deals to little Joe Morgan. Snake eyes across the board. That's a 1-2. How do you do? 1-2. Line shot at the second baseman. Lopes fires over to Say at third. Double play. Unbelievable. A line shot to leaping Davey Lopes. Pete Rose thought it was by him. He was already off and running. Lopes comes down, fires to Say, who steps on the third base bag, and that's a double play the odd way, as that will go 4-5 DP. 1-2 again, line out, second base maximum. Wow, did the Dodgers dodge a bullet, as they say. Morgan just shakes his head in disbelief. That's a double play. 4-5. So the leadoff triple will go for naught. Rose just shaking his head, kicking the grass, disgusted with himself. So 2 outs, base is empty for Johnny Bench, the catcher. Yeager wiggles the fingers. The pitch to his counterpart, Johnny Bench. That's a 3-9 righty-righty matchup. 3-9, swing and a miss, and the side is retired in unbelievable fashion. Dodgers fans rise to their feet. We go to the bottom of the first, no score. Due up for the Dodgers, Lopes, Russell, and Wynn. The stadium is abuzz at the play that Davey Lopes made. Doubling up, Pete Rose at third. A web gem for sure. Here's Davey Lopes, Rhode Island native. Great base stealer. Ross Grimsley on the mound, the lefty. He deals to Lopes. 6-5. Right-handed batter. 6-5. Fly ball out to right. Now be out number 1. Making the catch in right field is Cesar Geronimo. And Lopes is retired. Here comes Bill Russell, Lopes' partner in crime up the middle. Russell digs in. The tall lefty Grimsley deals to Bill Russell. And that's a 5-4 to Billy Russell. Right-handed batter. 5-4. This will be a play for Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench's defensive rating, should I even ask, is a 1. That's a 112. We go to the advanced fielding chart. For the catcher, 112 will be an error check. Bench, E2. So we find the E2 and we roll the 2 red die. And that's a 6 on an E2. A little number in front of the plate. Bench picks it up, throws to first. And that's out number 2. Russell is retired. 2-3. If you're scoring at home, you should. It's good for the brain. So 2 outs, base is empty. And here comes Jim Wynn, the center fielder. He's got a little bit of pop in that bat. Grimsley deals to the righty Wynn. 3-8 to Wynn. Left-handed pitcher. 3-8, and that's a walk. So Jimmy Wynn works a walk. He's a B stealer. Grimsley, a -2 on the hold. And Bench, a -4. So that's a -6. Wynn will stay put. And here comes Steve Garvey. They will hold Wynn on. Mr. Clean, Steve Garvey, pinwheels the bat. Grimsley peeks to first. Nods his head. He rocks and fires to Garvey. 3-7. Left-handed pitcher. 3-7. And that's going to be a double down the line. Wynn will go first to third. It's a double 2 stars. Here come the Dodgers. So it's second and third, 2 outs. Garvey has knocked in a plethora of runs in his 2 games in this tournament. And this will bring up the catcher/right fielder, Joe Ferguson. Ferguson gets his first start in the tournament. Phantomatics at the ballpark along with Tribes Fan. Thank you for joining us. So 2 outs, second and third. No score, bottom of the first. Joe Ferguson sees his first at-bat in the tournament against the lefty Ross Grimsley. Bench goes through the signs. Grimsley nods his head. He rocks and fires to Joe Ferguson. Not the Arkansas Rifle, the quarterback for the Bills. That's a 110. 1-10. Swing and a miss, and the side is retired. Grimsley blows the fastball by him. He pumps his fist and comes jogging off the mound, pointing at the Dodger dugout, saying the bench is over there. Oh, rough words from Ross Grimsley. We're through 1. There's no score here in La La Land. Due up for the Cincinnati Reds to face Don Sutton at the top of the second. Perez, Tolan, and Menke. Remember, the leadoff triple, then the double play lineout really took the Reds out of a possible big inning. So here's TP, Tony Perez, power hitting first baseman. The windup and the pitch from Sutton to Perez. That's a 1-6. 1-6. Strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Catches him looking. Second strikeout for Sutton. 1 down. And here comes Bobby Tolan. Left-handed batter. Tolan, excellent speed. Yeager sets the target. The pitch to Bobby Tolan. 6-6. You get your kicks on Route 66. Left-handed batter. 6-6. Ground ball to first. Garvey's up with it. He tosses to Sutton. 2 down. That's 3-1. So 2 outs, no one on. And here comes Dennis Menke, third baseman for the Reds. The pitch to Menke. Sutton fires up a 2-2. How do you do? Righty-righty matchup. 2-2 and a 3, and that is a single to center. So Menke prevents the 1-2-3 inning. He singles to center. Menke is slow as dirt, but will be held on with 2 outs. And then here's the designated hitter, Hal McRae. McRae swings the right-handed lumber. Here's the pitch from Sutton. 3-5. Righty-righty. 3-5 and a line shot right at the Penguin at third, and the side is retired. 1-9 would have been a single 1-star. 10-20 is a line out. We rolled a 16. We go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless here in LA. The winner, 70's Gem Tournament champion. And guess who leads things off? The Penguin for the Dodgers. It's a Bisei Pachorik. Pachorik getting his first start in this tournament. Buckner on the bench. And Lee Lacy getting his first start in the tournament as a designated hitter. So here comes Ronnie Say, the man with the peculiar walk, or familiar walk. The pitch to Say, the Penguin is dealt a 5-8. 5-8. Line shot right at the first baseman for the Reds, Tony Perez. Say hit it on the screws. Nothing to show for it. 1 down. Grimsley tips his cap to his first baseman. And here comes Tommy Pachorik. Let's see what Pachorik can do. First at-bat in the tournament. Grimsley nods his head. Bench sets a target. The pitch to Pachorik. 1-7. Against a left-handed pitcher. 1-7. Slowly hit ball to second. And that will retire Pachorik as Morgan goes to first. So 2 up, 2 down. Clinton Parks is at the ballpark. How you doing? John St. Baptiste, a huge Reds fan. How you doing? Hope all is well. I know who he's rooting for. Check out that wonderful channel. John St. Baptiste. Good man, good man. And here comes the Dodger blue catcher, Steve Yeager. Yeager had some very unfriendly words for Ross Grimsley. I think it goes back to, I don't know when, but they were very unfriendly. Grimsley peers in at Yeager. Looks at those glasses. Wonders if he can see out of them. Here's the pitch to Yeager. 2-7. 2-7. Strike 3. Looking. Yeager complains. Grimsley points to the bench. Calls him not such a pleasant word. And the side is retired. Grimsley with his second K. And they're still chirping at each other. These two gents do not like each other. I think it goes back to a pinochle game. I don't know. We're through 2. No score here in Los Angeles. Due up for the Reds, Geronimo Concepcion, the top of the order, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle, to face Dodger Blue Don Sutton. Sutton once yelled at his child for using a red crayon. Here's the pitch to Cesar Geronimo, the lefty. Sutton fires in a 1-5. 1-5, and that's a single. A single to right center by Cesar Geronimo. And again, the Reds put someone on board. Geronimo, a horrible base stealer, though a decent base runner. He's a D stealer, won't be held on until 2 outs. Clinton Park says he played his first roster card baseball. Card and Dice. I'm going to enjoy the game. Excellent, Clinton, excellent. Here's Davey Concepcion. Concepcion is a B bunter. C hit and run. But they're going to let Davey swing away. They're not going to bunt here in this situation. The pitch to Concepcion. Geronimo's at first. 3-5 to Davey Concepcion. Righty answer. 3-5. And Davey Concepcion singles to center, 2 stars. He faked the bunt, brought the bat back, and slaps it to center. Had he really got a hold of it, 1 through 5 would have been a triple. But we rolled a 7. So Geronimo goes first to third on the single, 2 stars. What a job by Davey Concepcion. So first and third, no outs. And here comes Pete Rose. Rose tripled and was doubled up on the line out to Davey Lopes. John St. Petit says, who's pitching for the Redlegs? Ross Grimsley, 14-8, 1 save, 3.05 earned run average, and he's a lefty, so we chose him. I think lefties give the Dodgers a little more trouble. Again, the Dodgers will hope for 2 and give up the run. Here's the pitch to Rose. 5-10 from Sutton to Rose. Rose will be batting lefty, so 5-10-13, and that's a shot to center. No one's going to get that. It's going to grab some wall. It's going to be a double. So Pete Rose, Geronimo trots in from third, 1-0. Concepcion, 1 through 16, and you can't hold him on because there's a runner in front of him, and it's going to be a relay throw from center. The center fielder is Bobby Tolan, -2. And again, you have to assume there's a relay throw in there, but we just got to go into the -2. Concepcion, 1 through 16, 1 through 14. They'll hold him up. They don't want to run into an out. 1-0, second and third. Pete Rose, again, frantically clapping his hands, and he points at the Dodgers dugout and tells them they're number 1. So Rose picks up a ribby. Concepcion stands at third. The Dodgers get their bullpen up. And Don Sutton's been treated quite rudely by the Cincinnati Redlegs. So second and third. And here comes Joe Morgan. They'll play for the out. Dodgers believe in their offense. Little Joe smashed into that line drive double play. The pitch to the diminutive one. 4-7. Sutton's on the ropes. Morgan and the Reds hoping to knock him out in the 4-7. Left-handed batter. 4-7. That's a walk. The bases are juiced. And there are no outs. Yeager will go to the mound. Here comes the pitching coach. Would they go to Mike Marshall this early? Why not? Doug Rao is ready. He's a starter, but there's no tomorrow. And we have Jim Brewer. He's a lefty. Oh, that would throw a crink in the... Jim Brewer out of the pen. He's good for 3 innings. 2.52. Bases juiced. Coming up is Johnny Bench. So we might Jeff Zahn. He's a righty. No, he's a lefty too. Oh boy. This is the moment of truth here, folks. Al Downing. Yeah, we're not going with Al Downing. We could bring the knuckler Charlie Huff in. He's a righty. But Mike Marshall can actually go 4 innings. My God, Don Sutton's not going to get through 3 innings. That's horrible. That is horrid. And they're going to the money man, Mike Marshall. There is no tomorrow. They're hoping that the money man, Mike Marshall, has 2 saves in this series already. He threw a gazillion innings out of the pen, 208 to be exact. Actually, he was involved in 36 wins for the Dodgers in 1974. I do believe he won the Cy Young. And here comes Mike Marshall, so he won't be there for the save, but this is the most important portion of the game. Marshall says, just give me the damn ball. And Don Sutton has pooped himself on the mound. 1-0. Reds, bases loaded, no outs. Sutton goes 2 innings of putridness. And here comes Mike Marshall. He's a right-handed thrower. Sutton responsible for every Red on the base paths. Mike Marshall. Marshall, 15 and 12, 21 saves. Good for 4 innings. Again, there's always rest in between the tournament games, so he can pitch. 21 saves with a 2.42. And they call on Mike Marshall to be the magician one more time and pull the Dodgers out of the poop. So here's Mikey Marshall. Larry Harris is at the ballpark. How you doing? Thank you, John, for stopping by. I hope your work day goes quickly and well. So it's Johnny Bench to face Mike Marshall. Bench was a strikeout victim to Sutton. Sutton, a horrid third inning, has been pulled. And it's Mike Marshall. Dodgers will play for 2. The pitch to Bench for Marshall. Moment of truth. 6-9. Righty. 6-9. 14. That's a single! Johnny Bench takes that fastball right back to sender, up the middle into center field. Single, 2 stars. Concepcion scores from third. Rose comes racing around from second. 3-0. Reds. As Morgan goes first to third. 2 RBI single. Here come the Reds. Holy poop. And Mike Marshall does not spell relief. Those runs will be charged to Sutton. So Morgan stands at third. Bench is at first. He just knocked in 2. There's still no outs. And here's Tony Perez. Again, they hope for the double play ball. Marshall kicks and deals to TP. Tony Perez, that's not a good column for Marshall. That's a 6-7. 6-7. That's a single to center. And Morgan comes trotting in from third. It's 4-0. Bench stops at second. And Perez has an RBI single. And there are still no outs. 4-0 Cincinnati. All of those runs were charged to Don Sutton. His day is done. It was bad. Marshall's responsibility is Johnny Bench. Bench at second base. First and second, no outs. As Perez, very happy with a big smile at first. Here comes Bobby Tolan. Bobby Tolan grounded to first. Again, they're hoping for the double play ball. Marshall nods his head. Deep breath. The windup and the pitch to Bobby Tolan. That's a 3-8. Against a right-handed pitcher, 3-8, swing and a miss. A desperately needed out for the Dodgers, who trail by 4. 1 out, 2 on, and here's Dennis Menke, the man who mans the hot corner for the Reds. The pitch to Menke. Marshall fires in a... Oh, man, again, that 6 is horrible. 6-10, and he jammed him. That is a shallow fly ball to center, racing in and making the catch is Win. 2 down. Oh, boy. So there are 2 outs, first and second. They'll hold Bench close now with 2 outs. So it'll only be a +1, 1 through 13. Here comes a designated hitter Hal McRae. He's 0 for 1. Yeager pounds the mitt, sets the target. Marshall deals to McRae. 5-8. Righty, 5-8. Strike 3 looking. So Marshall strikes out 2 out of 3, but he does let the inherited runners score. The Reds jump out to the wild side, scoring 4 in the top of the third, all charged to Don Sutton, who was out of the game. Marshall came in relief. 4-0. We go to the bottom of the third, and the Reds are quite happy in this championship game. Due up for the Dodgers. Their bats have to get going. Lee Lacy, Davey Lopes, and Bill Russell. So the Reds explode for 4. And let's make sure we got these in the right order. And so they batted around, actually. That was, wow. That was, because Geronimo's going to lead off the inning again. Let's see if the Dodgers bats can answer. Let's see if the Dodger bats can answer the Reds' assault. Here's Lee Lacy, designated hitter. Grimsley deals to the right-handed Lacy. 2-6. 2-6 to Lee Lacy. Left-handed pitcher. 2-6, and that's a single as he bloops one to center. So Lee Lacy gets a single. That's what the Dodgers need. Lacy trying to rev up the blue. And I'll bring up Davey Lopes. Lopes flew out to right. Lacy, a C-stealer, will be held close. The pitch to Lopes. Grimsley fires in a 6-8. Right-handed batter. 6-8. Single! Lacy got a good read on that. He's around second and heads to third. Single, 2 stars. And here come the Dodgers. They have answered in their other games every time. So first and third, no outs. Sparky Anderson goes to the phone. He gets his pen up. And here comes Billy Russell. First and third, no outs, 4-0 Reds, bottom of the third. Russell is 0 for 1. The pitch to Russell. 3-6 against the left-handed pitcher. 3-6 single! And Bill Russell singles. Lacy scores. It's 4-1. Racing around second on his way to third is Davey Lopes. It was a single, 2 stars. And Russell points to the heavens. He's just knocked in the first Dodger run. Oh boy, here we go again. So Lopes scores. Lacy scores. Lopes is at third. Russell's at first. The Reds have their arms up in the pen now. Billingsley loosening quickly. And here comes Jim Wynn. Wynn walked his first time up. First and third. 4-1 Reds. Grimsley has a word with Bench. Bench back behind the plate. Squats down, sets a target. The pitch homeward bound to Jim Wynn. 2-6. 2-6. That's a walk. The second time he has worked a walk. And the bases are juiced. And it's decision time now for Sparky Anderson and the Reds. It looks like Ross Grimsley has pooped himself. Doing his best Don Sutton imitation. 4-1 Cincinnati. And here comes Mr. Clean, Steve Garvey. He doubled his last plate appearance. And here comes Sparky Anderson. So here comes Sparky. Going out to have a word with Grimsley. I think it'll be a short conversation. Continues to talk. And will they go? Jack Billingham. Go 3 in relief. Pedro Barbone can go 4. And the closer, Clay Carroll, can go 3. They need a strikeout here. And I want to say Barbone had 48. Jack Billingham with 137. It's going to be Jack Billingham. Again, Billingham pitched more innings. I get that. But it's going to be Jack Billingham. He is a righty to face the righty Steve Garvey. And it's Jack Billingham out of the pen. So both starters don't last too long. And will not qualify. Well, Grimsley can still get a bases loaded. Well, yeah, no decision. Because if someone hit a homer off Billingham, Garvey run would be charged at Billingham. So that's it. The starters have not pitched well, to say the least. Ross Grimsley is done. And it's going to be Jack Billingham It's a bullpen game, folks, now. It's Jack Billingham. Billingham, 12 and 12. He had 1 save and a 3.18. There are no outs. He comes in to face Steve Garvey, who doubled off Grimsley. So the starters are na, say goodbye. Lopes at third, Russell at second, Wynn at first, and Garvey at the plate. On the mound in a very tough predicament is Jack Billingham. Bench smacks him on the butt, goes back behind the plate. They're going to look for a double play ball here. Billingham's ready to work. He deals to Mr. Clean, Steve Garvey. 5-9, righty-righty matchup. 5-9, swing and a miss, and that's what they needed. He blows the fastball past Garvey and just sneers and stares at Garvey. Garvey just looks at him like, I'll get you next time. Billingham politely waves towards the bench with his glove. They'll bring up Joe Ferguson, right fielder. Will they go to Billy Buckner here? And can we slide Pachorik to right? Actually, let's look at Ferguson. Has a decent. Ferguson's going to swing away. They're going to stick with Ferguson. Double play ball gets the Reds out of the inning. It's 4-1 Cincinnati, bottom of the third. Here's the pitch of Joe Ferguson. Ferguson struck out his first plate appearance. That's a 110. 110, slowly hit ball to first. Ground ball C. That's going to get a run in as they'll take the sure out at first. Lopes will score. Perez just takes it to the bag himself. So it's a ground out 3. RBI. And it's now 4-2. The Dodgers have cut the lead in half. Russell goes to third. Wynn goes to second. So Lopes scores. Ferguson's out. He picks up the ribby. Reds will take that, though. Now there's 2 outs, second and third for the Penguin. Ron Say. Say lined out to Tony Perez. Pachorik on deck. Probably will be pinch hit for by Billy Buckner. Here's the pitch to Say. Billingham fires in a 6-4. Does it close the door on the 6-4 righty-righty matchup? 6-4. This will be a play for Johnny Bench. Bench, a 1 defender and an 8. A 1-8. Bench picks up the ball, throws to first, and the side is retired. Say is out 2-3. Billingham does his job. He does allow 1 inherited runner to score on the ground ball, slowly hit the third, but the Reds will take it. They'll go to the top of the 4th with a 2-run lead. Cincinnati 4, Los Angeles 2 in our 70's Gem Tournament Championship game. So I'd have to say the Reds got out of it quite cheaply. Dodger fans were hoping for more. Due up for Cincinnati, Geronimo, Concepcion, and Pete Rose. Can they continue the third inning uprising here in the top of the 4th? Mike Marshall back up on the bump for the Dodgers. Dodgers trail by 2. Geronimo singled and scored. The pitch to Cesar Geronimo. Marshall fires in a 1-5. Right-handed pitcher. 1-5. Single! So Geronimo sneaks one through the infield, and he has singled again into right. D. Steeler will not be held on. He's 2 for 2. Here's Davey Concepcion. Concepcion singled and scored. Rose on deck. This time Davey's going to bunt. They're They're going to play for the bunt, so he goes from a B to a C. Bunter. Here's a pitch from Marshall. Concepcion squares. That's a 9 on a B. Charging in is Say. His only plays to first. Concepcion is out, but advancing to second is Cesar Geronimo on a good sack bunt on the B9. Batter is thrown out by third baseman. Runners advance one base. So that's a sack. 5-4. Lopes covering on the wheel play. And Geronimo in scoring position. They will hold him close now, so it'll be a -1, 1 through 15. Here comes Pete Rose. Rose has tripled, was erased on a line-out double play, then doubled in. 2 runs. Yeah, Rose had 2 ribbies there. Okay. So 1 out, 1 on. Rose needs a single and a homer for the cycle. 4-2 Reds. Marshall, arms down to his chest. He rocks and deals to Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose, 4-8. Switch hitter batting lefty. 4-8 and a 16. That ball is hit deep to right. Fly ball B going back, reaching up and making the catch is Ferguson. Bluffing but holding at second is Geronimo. So Rose is finally retired on the fly ball B to right. That was a split on the 4-9. 4-9, 1 through 4 would have been a single. It would. Oh, wait a second. 4-8. I knew I looked at that. Okay. 4-8. 1 through 4 would have been a double. 5 through 20 is a fly out B to right, and we rolled a 16. There we go. Geronimo's at second, 2 down. We have phone delay. I shall be back in a moment. And we are back from phone delay. Let's make sure the mic is actually working. Let's go and see. OBS says it's working, but who knows? Only the shadow knows. Alrighty. So 2 outs. Geronimo is at second. And that will bring up little Joe Morgan. Morgan has lined into a double play, walked and scored. Marshall trying to keep it a 2-run deficit here. Here's the pitch to Morgan. Marshall tosses up. He's going with the soft stuff. 5-6, trying to fool Morgan here. Morgan's a lefty. 5-6, and that's a fly ball to center, and that will retire the side as Wynn makes the catch. Marshall pumps his fist, jogs off to the dugout. The Reds are retired. They score none. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 4-2 Cincinnati. Due up for the Dodgers, Pachorik, Yeager, and Lacey to face Jack Billingham. Billingham came in and got the Reds out of a tremendous mess that Ross Grimsley left them in. So, Billingham came in. Grimsley pitched 2 innings. Billingham's going to pitch his second. Marshall's pitching on his second. Again, his point of weakness check won't start until his 4th inning of work. All right, so it's Jack Billingham, and he starts his 2nd inning of work. He's good for 3. So next inning comes point of weakness. Here comes Tom Paciorek. Paciorek 0 for 1. Grounded to second. The pitch to Paciorek from Jack Billingham. 4-5. Righty-righty matchup. 4-5. Ground ball to short. The shortstop is Davy Concepcion. Concepcion's a 3 defender, and we rolled a 10. Go to the advanced fielding chart. Shortstop 3. 10. We go to an error check. This is not going to be good because Concepcion is an E26. Need a high roll here. Yeah, it might be good. That's a 9. Let's find the E26. E26, 9. Concepcion backhands, fires to Perez, out number 1. Nice play by Davy Concepcion. 6-3. Paciorek is now 0 for 2. Probably are going to go to Billy Buckner next time. Paciorek, the better, slightly, well, his arm's better. Probably should have went to Billy Buck then. Here's the pitch to Yeager from Billingham. Yeager struck out his first time up. That's a 4-5 righty-righty matchup. 4-5 ground ball to short again. And Concepcion's a 3. We rolled a 3. Concepcion gobbles it up like a kid with No! What am I saying? That's a 3-3. That's a single. I looked at the wrong chart. That is a single. Past the dive of Concepcion. So Yeager's on. Yeager is on. Tying run comes to the plate. They won't hold Yeager on. He's a D-stealer until 2 outs. Lee Lacy. If we go to Billy Buck here, he'll have to be the DH. Dodgers looking at their bench. Willie Crawford. He's got a -1 arm. Let's look at Joe Ferguson in right. He's an E6 -2. And he's a better defender in right field. Except for range. He's not as good with range. 4. So Willie Crawford will grab a bat. And here comes the lefty Willie Crawford to bat for Lee Lacy. So it's going to be Ferguson in right. He'll stay in right. Lee Lacy's done. He only had 1 at-bat. He singled and scored. Lacy's done. Here comes Willie Crawford. He'll pinch hit and stay into DH. So all kinds of moves being made here in the bottom of the 4th. Dodgers down 4-2. Well, we mix and match now. Righty, Clay Carroll's too soon. Don Gullett. Don Gullett is a lefty. Well, they go to Gullett. They're going to stick with who gave up more homers. Gullett, 15, 135 innings pitched. Jack Billingham, I think it's 18, 218. You're going to stick with Billingham. Billingham. Gullett had a lot of strikeouts too, though. They're going to stick with Billingham. We'll stick with Billingham. It's pretty much the same for both sides there anyway. All right, so Billingham will face Crawford, who pinch hits for Lacy. 1 out. Yeager's at first after the single past the dive of Concepcion into left. Crawford represents a tying run at the plate. 4-2 Reds. The pitch from Billingham to Willie Crawford. 5-6. 5-6. Fly ball. Left field. And that's going to be out number 2. Making the catch is Charlie Hustle. Pete Rose. Retreating back to first is Steve Yeager. So after all that, the call we made was correct. And here comes Davey Lopes. Lopes is 1 for 2. He's flown to right and singled and scored. Yeager will be held close. There will only be a +1, 1 through 11. The pitch from Billingham to Lopes. Trying to end the threat here and now. 4-5 to Davey Lopes. Righty. 4-5. Ground ball to short. And Davey Concepcion. Concepcion, again, a 3 defender. We rolled a 19. 3. 19. Concepcion's up with it. He fires to Perez, and the side is retired. 6-3 if you're scoring at home. The Dodgers put 1 on, but can't do no more. We go to the top of the 5th, 4-2 Cincinnati in our 70's Gem Tournament Championship game, our 7th game of the tournament, and final game of the tournament. Due up for the Reds with a 2-run lead, bench, Perez, and Bobby Tolan. And they're going to face Mike Marshall. So Jack Billingham has now pitched 2 innings. Mike Marshall goes into his 3rd inning of work. The 6th will be his point of weakness check. And he's going to face Johnny Bench. Bench struck out and then doubled. Actually singled, off Marshall, knocking in 2. Those runs were charged to Don Sutton. Sutton and Grimsley were both KO'd in the 3rd. Here's the pitch from Marshall to Bench. A 1-8 to Johnny Bench. Righty-righty matchup. 1-8. Popped up. Shortstop. Russell, outfield grass, makes the catch. 1 down. Here's TP, Tony Perez. Perez is struck out and singled in a run. He awaits the Marshall offering. Pitch to Perez. 2-10. Righty. 2-10. Strike 3. Inside corner with the fastball. Great job of Yeager framing it. That's another K for Mike Marshall. 2 down. Marshall looking to retire the Reds. 1-2-3, but he'll have to get through Bobby Tolan. Bobby Tolan is 0 for 2. He is grounded out and struck out. Marshall takes a deep breath. The windup and the pitch to Bobby Tolan. 4-7. Left-handed batter. 4-7. Popped up the other way. Second base. Lopes calls off Garvey. Right side. He makes the catch. And the side is retired. So a pop-out, a strikeout, and a pop-out. And 1-2-3 go with the Reds. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Cincinnati. Due up for the Dodgers, Russell, Wynn, and Garvey to face Jack Billingham. Billingham in his 3rd inning of work, and that will be point of weakness check coming up. Here's Bill Russell. Russell has singled in a run. He's 1 for 1. The pitch from Billingham. Russell's dealt a 4-7. Righty-righty matchup. 4-7. Strike 3. Big swing and a miss. He expanded the zone. 1 down. Coming to the plate for the Dodgers is Jim Wynn. Wynn has walked twice. He has no official at-bat. Johnny Bench goes through the signs. Billingham's ready to work. He fires into Jim Wynn. 4-5. Trying to blow a fastball by him. 4-5. Righty. 4-5. Ground ball to short. Davey Concepcion is a 3. We rolled a 5, a 3, and a 5. He charges the slowly hit ball. Quick release to Perez, and they just nip Wynn by the hair of the chinny chin chin. So Wynn is retired. 6-3. Reds throw the ball around the infield. 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 Cincinnati in our championship game. And I'll bring up Steve Garvey. Garvey has doubled and struck out. The pitch to Mr. Clean Steve Garvey. Billingham tosses up a 4-8. Righty, 4-8. Garvey way out in front of it. Pops it sky high. Shortstop. Concepcion waving his arms. He makes the catch. 1-2-3 go the Dodgers as Garvey pops out to Concepcion. We're through 5, still 4-2 Cincinnati. We go to the top of the 6th. It's Menke, McRae, and Geronimo to face Mike Marshall. Point of weakness check now for Mike Marshall. Here's Dennis Menke, third baseman for the Reds. He's got a little bit of pop in that bat. Menke has singled and flown to center. Marshall trying again to keep it a 2-run deficit. Deals to Menke. 3-7. Righty. 3-7. Fly ball center field. Going back to his left. Making the catch for out number 1 is Wynn. So Menke flies to center. That brings up the designated hitter, Hal McRae. McRae is 0 for 2. He's lined to third and struck out. The pitch to McRae. Marshall deals a 2-9, excuse me, 2-9. Righty, 2-9, and a 1, and that is a gap shot, left center field. McRae will be standing at second with a 1-out double. We rolled a 1. 1 through 19 is a double on a 2-9, righty. That's a big insurance run there. Reds would like to add to their 2-run lead. Dodgers have bullpen action. Here comes Cesar Geronimo. He has singled twice and scored once. 1 out. McRae's at second. He's a horrible base runner. Not being held close. The pitch to Cesar Geronimo. Marshall looking for the second out in this inning. 2-11. Left-handed batter, right-handed pitcher. 2-11. Ground ball right side, first base. Garvey takes it to the bag himself. Ground ball right side A. It's on the right side, so McRae will advance to third with 2 outs now. Reds 90 feet away from getting their 5th run. And here comes Davy Concepcion. Concepcion is singled and scored and had a sacrifice bunt. So he is 1 for 1. Gillis, how you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. As he says, that was a bullpen phone ringing. Yes, it was. That's a good one. Here's the pitch to Davy Concepcion. 1-5. Righty. 1-5. Single to right, and McRae will score. It's now 5-2 Reds. So Davy is 2 for 2, and now he's knocked in a run. And that run will be charged to Marshall. 1-2. One more hitter walk. He hits point of weakness. Let's see if we can get him through this inning. 5-2 Cincinnati. Here comes Pete Rose. This could be the last batter that Marshall faces. Rose is 2 for 3. A triple, a race on a line-out double play, a double where he knocked in 2 runs and scored, and he flew out to right. Concepcion will be held at first, so he'll be with 2 outs, only a +1, so that's a 1 through 17. Rose, switch hitter, batting lefty. The pitch for Marshall to Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. 4-9. Left-handed batter. 4-9 and a 16, and Rose smacks this one down the right field line. It's going to be a double. Concepcion, they're going to try to wave him around. So Rose picks up his 2nd double. Concepcion, that ball is hit to right. As I called it out to right. That's just what I'm... Actually, with no designate, it's a center. So it's a double to center. I should have looked quicker. I looked at the flyout on the 8, and I saw right. So that's a double to center. The center fielder Oh, God, he has a horrible arm. Wins a +3. Well, they're sending him. So that's a 20. You can't. It should be. He should score automatically. But I think the rule is you can't do to 20. It goes. So we got to roll. I think you can only go 1 through 18 or something like that. Anyway, if we roll high, I'll double check the rule. Here's the throw, the relay throw. Concepcion, 13. He scores. I'm glad I didn't have to look that up. And that's it for Mike Marshall. Concepcion scores all the way from first. They get 2 runs off Marshall. It's now 6-2 Reds. Rose knocks in another ribby. That's his third. And Mike Marshall is done for the day as he hits point of weakness. So Joe Morgan awaits a new Dodger pitcher. Morgan's a lefty, and they're going to go with Jeff Zahn, the lefty. So it's a lefty-lefty matchup. Marshall went 3 2/3. He's given up 2 runs. He's responsible for Rose at second. And here comes Jeff Zahn, the third Dodger pitcher. Reds now have a 4-run lead once again, 6-2. Zahn's a lefty. And he spells Jeff Geoff. I believe that's Gaelic. So he's Irish. Or maybe he's not Irish, but I believe that's a Gaelic spelling of Jeff. 3-5 with a 2.03 earned run average. Trying to get the final out here in this inning. Marshall's day is done. So here's Jeff Zahn, lefty-lefty matchup. Little Joe Morgan. Morgan has lined into a double play, walked and flown to center. The pitch from Zahn to Little Joe Morgan. 5-8. Lefty, 5-8. Fly ball to right. This will end the inning. Making the catch in right field is Ferguson, but the Reds score 2. Dodger Blue is going boo-hoo. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Once again, the Dodgers face a 4-run deficit. And Marshall does give up those 2 runs. His day is done. Jack Billingham has gone 3 innings. Will we turn it over? So point of weakness check again. Billingham last inning sent them down 1-2-3. He'll face Ferguson, Say, and Pechoric. Actually, it'll be Ferguson, Say, and Billy Buckner. Do we go to the pen or do we stick with Jack Billingham? We're going to go to the pen. He's given us 3 innings. So Billingham's day is done. He didn't give up any runs, so good for Jack. And now, Clay Carroll's good for 3 innings. Pedro Bourbon. And you got to go vote for Pedro, 317. And it's going to be, we still have Don Gullett. 394, 317. It's going to be vote for Pedro. Here comes Pedro Bourbon to try to be the bridge to Clay Carroll, who had 37 saves. So Jack Billingham does his job, and he will be in line. Grimsley's not in line for the win. I guess it will be my volition to give the win. I'm the scorekeeper. So it's going to be Pedro Bourbon, the Reds' third pitcher. Vote for Pedro. So it's Bourbon. He's 8-3. 11 saves. 3.17 earned run average. And he is good for 4 innings. So maybe we get multiple innings out of Pedro. We just want to bridge that gap to Clay Carroll. Kenny Castro, our good friend from the great state of Rhode Island, who Davey Lopes looks up to, is in the ballpark and in the house. How you doing, my friend? Long time no chat, our good friend Kenny Castro. All right. So for the Dodgers, it's Ferguson, Say, and Billy Buckner will most likely pinch hit for Paciorek. And it's vote for Pedro. Bourbon is on the mound. He deals to Joe Ferguson, who is 0 for 2, but does have a ribby. He struck out once. The pitch from Bourbon to Ferguson, who's playing right. That's a 4-11 righty-righty matchup. 4-11 ground ball, hard hit to third. Menke to Perez, 1 down. Five to 3, scoring at home. So Ferguson's retired. Bourbon gets the ball back as they throw it around. Here comes the Penguin. Ron Say, he's 0 for 2. Bourbon deals quickly to the Penguin, looking to fry him up. 4-4. Will it close the door on the Penguin, Ron Say? Righty-righty matchup. 4-4. Fly ball, center field, X. Bobby Tolan is a 2 defender, and we roll to 17. We flip the handy-dandy chart to 17. Center fielder, the chart's sliding away, sliding away. 2 and a 17. Tolan on the run, reaches up and makes the catch at the track. So Say gave it a ride, but not far enough. 2 down as Bourbon claps his glove. They get the ball quickly back to Pedro. He likes to work fast. And here's Tommy Paciorek, but Paciorek will not bat. And here comes Billy Buckner. So it's Bill Buckner. He started the first 2 games of the tournament. So it'll be Buckner, the lefty, to pinch hit for Paciorek. Paciorek was 0 for 2. Nothing special about Tom in this game. I almost started Buckner anyway. So here he is, Billy Buck. He'll stay in and play left field. He's a 1, which Paciorek was a 2. His arm is worse, though. Paciorek was neutral. Buckner's a +2. But he's a better fielder. He's an E8, where Paciorek was an E19. And Buckner, this is before Buckner's legs went bad with injuries. Buckner's an A stealer, A bunter, and a B hit and run. And he runs 1 through 15. So here's Billy Buck. 2 outs, no one on. Yeager's on deck. And then Crawford, who came in to pinch hit for the designated hitter Lacey and assumed the position. So Paciorek's out. Bourbon now has to face this left-handed batter, Billy Buckner. Bench goes out, have a word with him. Perez is on the mound with them. They all nod their head in agreement, back to their positions. Buckner awaits the Pedro Bourbon offering, trying to keep the inning alive. 6-2 Reds, the pitch to Billy Buck. And Bourbon fires in a 3-9. 3-9, jammed him, popped up, second base. Little Joe Morgan waits for it to come down. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. Buckner pops out to Morgan, and Pedro Bourbon, does his J-O-B as Bourbon looks up at the press box and just sneers at me. We're through 6 in La La Land. The Reds 6, the Dodgers 2. Jeff Zahn, the lefty, still up on the mound, and we got righty bench, righty Perez, and lefty Tolan. They're going to stick with Jeff Zahn, the Dodgers, excuse me. He'll Deal to Johnny Bench. Bench is 1 for 3. He's knocked in 2 with a single. He's popped out and struck out. The pitch to Bench from Jeff Zahn. 6-3. What will it be? We shall see. Right-handed batter. 6-3. That's a walk. Bench is at first. C. Steeler. They'll hold him close. Here's Tony Perez. Zahn looking for the double play ball. Perez is a good candidate for the double play ball. Zahn peeks to first. Now looks in at the plate. He rocks and fires to Tony Perez. 5-4. Right-handed batter. 5-4. Shallow fly ball to left. Coming in is Billy Buckner. He makes the catch. Retreating back to first is Bench. 1 down. Double play gets him out of the inning. And now it's a lefty-lefty matchup with Bobby Tolan. Zahn's ready to work. He deals to Bobby Tolan. That's a 1-7 lefty-lefty. 1-7 fly ball to center. And that's going to be out number 2 as Wynn makes the catch. And once again, Bench retreats back to first. Here comes a third baseman for the Reds, Dennis Menke. The Reds are up 6-2. Runner at first, top of the 7th. The winner is tournament champion in our 70s Gem tournament card set. Menke singled and flown out to center twice. He's 1 for 3. Bench will be held close, so he'll only be a +1, 1 through 13. Menke awaits the Jeff Zahn offering. Pitch homeward bound. Dice rattle the helmets. 6-10. 6-10. Ground ball to third, and the Penguin Ron Say. Say's a 2 defender. We rolled a 6. I think he should make the play. Let's go to our handy-dandy fielding chart. A 2 and a 6. Third base, 2, 6. We go to an error check. Oh, boy, E23. Need a high roll here with the red die. That's a 9. He should make the play. 23 on the error rating. E23, 9. Say backhands it. Fires to Garvey, and the side is retired. 8 through 10 and 12 is a ground out A. So Zahn does his JOB once again. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 6-2 Reds. They're smelling a tournament championship trophy. So Zahn, good for 3 innings, has pitched an inning and a third. The bench walk doesn't hurt him. We've already used Mike Marshall. So Pedro Bourbon, again, he's good for 4 innings in relief. Got the Dodgers 1, 2, 3. He'll face Yeager, Crawford, and Davey Lopes. Clay Carroll continues to warm. Carroll will probably be called to get the final 6 outs. Clinton asks, "Hey Al, are you playing advanced version?" Yes. Yes. With a one super advanced rule mixed in, the hold rule, where you go off the catcher and the pitcher. So I'm not an expert. Do I make mistakes? Yeah, probably, but I enjoy the game. I do like this game a lot. And but yes, I'm playing advanced. I was playing some Baseball Mogul today. Now I remember why I stopped playing. The game crashes all the time. I'm having like these excellent games. I'm like, oh, I'm going to stream one of these on Twitch, and it crashed twice. I'm like, now I remembered why I stopped playing. Okay. All right, so Steve Yeager's up. Here's the pitch from Pedro Bourbon. Yeager is 1 for 2. He singled and struck out. That's a 2-7 to Steve Yeager. Righty, 2-7. Ground ball to Concepcion. Over to Perez. 1 down. Bourbon is on fuego. So Bourbon continues his mastery over the Dodgers. 4 up, 4 down for Bourbon. He'll face Willie Crawford, left-handed batting designated hitter. Lacey got the start as DH. Crawford, normally in the tournament, played right. The pitch to Crawford. Bourbon fires in a 5-3. What will it be? We shall see. Left-handed batter. 5-3. Ground ball to first. And Tony Perez. Perez is a 3 defender. And we rolled an 8. First base, 3, 8. We go to an error check. He's an E11. Dodgers desperately need... Oh, that's a 6, but I think on an E11 that's going to be good. And no, he boots it. 3 through 6 and 12 is an error. We rolled a 6, so Tony Perez boots the ball at first. And the Dodgers have life with Crawford at first and 1 out. Bourbon, none too happy with the first baseman. Says something quite loudly in Spanish to him. That's an E3. So Crawford's on. Is this the window of opportunity for the Dodgers? They got to take advantage of these opportunities. Carroll continues to warm. Here's Davey Lopes. Lopes is 1 for 2. He singled and scored and grounded to short. Bourbon hoping for the double play ball. Crawford, D-Stealer will not be held on. The pitch to Davey Lopes. Bourbon fires in. An angry Pedro Bourbon. 3-9. Righty-righty matchup. 3-9. Slowly hit ball to second. Charging in is Morgan. He'll take the short out at first for out number 2. Advancing to second is Crawford. And Lopes is retired 4-3. So 2 outs. Crawford in scoring position. Bottom of the 7th. 6-2. The 72 Reds over the 74 Dodgers. That'll make John St. Baptiste happy. He joined us earlier. And here comes Billy Russell. Russell has singled in a run and struck out. Bourbon peeks over his shoulder. They'll hold Crawford close with 2 outs. It'll only be a +1, 1 through 17. Now he deals to Bill Russell. 4-5. Will Russell stay alive? 4-5. Righty-righty matchup. 4-5. Fly ball. Left field. Ranging towards the line and making the catch is Charlie Hustle, Pete Rose. And the side is retired. Bourbon sneers at the Dodger dugout and calmly walks off the mound. So Russell flies to left and Pete Rose. We're through 7, 6-2 Reds. Top of the 8th, McRae, Geronimo, and Concepcion to face Jeff Zahn. Zahn has pitched a third. 1 1/3, so he's still good. No point of weakness check yet. Russell made the last out, flying out to Rose. And I think it could be Clay Carroll time, but Bourbon is, you know what, we might stick with Pedro Bourbon. Here's Hal McRae, designated hitter, 1 for 3, a double, and scored a run, struck out in line to third. The pitch to McRae from Jeff Zahn. 4. 4 is across the board. That's a 4-8. Right-handed batter. 4-8 and a 14. Ground ball, third base. Save fires to Garvey. 1 down. That was a split on the 4-8. 1 through 3 would have been a single. 4 through 20. Ground ball B. So McRae's out 5-3. Here comes Cesar Geronimo. Geronimo singled twice, scored once, and grounded to first. Left-handed batter, lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch to Geronimo. 1-4. Does it close the door on Cesar? 1-4. Swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. So Zahn strikes him out. 2 down. Here in the top of the 8th, he's trying to keep it a 4-run deficit. And here's Davey Concepcion having a great day in the field and at the plate. He's 2 for 2. He's scored twice. He's knocked in a run, and he's had a sacrifice bunt that led to a run. Here's the windup and the pitch to Davey Concepcion. Zahn tosses up a 3-9. Left-handed pitcher, 3-9. Oh boy, and a 1. Concepcion lifts this ball down the right field line, and it hits the foul pole. Home run, Davey Concepcion on the 3-9. 1 through 7 is a homer. We rolled that magic number, the magic number 1, and Davey Concepcion is having a game of games. Holy poop. And it's now 7-2, the 72 Reds over the 74 Dodgers. Zahn hung one, And Concepcion gongs the right field foul pole. Second ribby for Davey Concepcion. He is 3 for 3. 2 singles, a homer, 2 ribbies, and a sac bunt. They were 1 out away from another clean inning for Zahn. Instead, it's 7-2. How do you do? Well, I'll tell you how Dodger Blue's feeling. They're feeling darn blue. And here comes Pete Rose. Rose just smiling and laughing. Rose feeling good about the situation. Rose has tripled, doubled in 2 runs and scored, flown to right, and doubled in another run. The pitch from Zahn to Charlie Hustle, who's now batting righty off the left-handed throwing Zahn. 4-11. 4-11. Fly ball left field, and that's going to be a play for Billy Buckner. Buckner's a 1, and that's a 19. This better be the third and final out. I hate when we have to re-roll for stupidity. I don't like re-rolls. 1-19. Buckner coming in. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. Rose not happy with that, but he's still smiling. The Dodgers now fall back by 5 on the Concepcion homer with 2 outs. He hits the foul pole. Sportsman Z is at the ballpark. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. He's doing a lot of wonderful Strat stuff. So that was Zahn. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers trail by 5. They have to get their bats going. And Clay Carroll is ready, but we're going to stick with vote for Pedro Barbone. Barbone has pitched 2 scoreless innings. He'll face Wynn, Garvey, and Ferguson. Sparky Anderson sticking with the hot hand. Here's Jimmy Wynn. Wynn's walked twice and grounded to short. Barbone deals quickly to Jim Wynn. 1-10. As the snow continues to fall outside my window. 1-10. 7. Deep fly ball, but not deep enough at the wall. Reaching up and making the catch in left is Pete Rose. Wow. And now Sparky Anderson's going to really think about it. That was a 1-10. Home run 1 through 3. We rolled to 7. And that's a deep fly out to left. And Barbone looks at Anderson and like, what? It's an out. Anderson talks to Pedro. Of course, Perez has to interpret, I believe. And here's Davey Concepcion also on the mound. And we're going to stick with Pedro Barbone. Here comes Mr. Cleve, Steve Garvey. Barbone's incensed about the meeting. He deals to Garvey. He fires in a 5-2. How do you do? Righty. 5-2. Fly ball to center. Not that deep. Camping and waiting to make the catch is Bobby Tolan. So there's 2 down. And Pedro Barbone looks to the dugout and Sparky Anderson like, see, I told you so. Barbone, master of his domain. I'll bring up the right fielder, Joe Ferguson. Barbone looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Dodger fans hoping, wishing, and praying that all the leaves are brown on this cloudy day. Here's the pitch to Joe Ferguson. A 2-6 to Joe Ferguson. 2-6. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Barbone just looks at Sparky Anderson with a Cheshire Cat smile. We go to the top of the 9th. The Reds 3 outs away from a tournament victory. Will we stick with Pedro Barbone? No, we won't. Though we should. He's got the hot hand. But it would be his 4th inning. So Barbone goes 3, and we're not sure what we're going to do with vote for Pedro. Clay Carroll now starts to toss again in the bullpen. He seems ready, though. Will he get in the game? Jeff Zahn will face the lefty Joe Morgan, and then that'll be it for him. Crap, he's a lefty. That'll be Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer. Oh, God, that's awful. He's not actually that bad. Actually, he's pretty good. Or we can go to Doug Rao, who's a starter, but 3.72. Ooh. Eddie Solomon pitched 6 innings. All players are eligible. He's a righty. Ooh, we might go to this Eddie Solomon. And we got Rick Roden. He's a 2. Well, Zahn will pitch to Joe Morgan. Little Joe Morgan. 0 for 3. He's walked and scored a run. Zahn deals to the lefty. Morgan. 3-4. Does it close the door on little Joe Morgan? 3-4. Flies out to left field. And Buckner makes the catch. So Zahn gets that out. 1 down. Johnny Bench. He walked off Zahn last time. We're going to stick with Zahn here. The pitch to Bench. 4-4. Does it close the door on Johnny Bench? Right-handed batter. 4-4. This will be a play for Steve Yeager, as it looks like it's a catcher X. So it's a play for Yeager. Yeager's a 1 defender, and that's a 20. 1 and a 20 is a pop-up foul territory. Yeager throws the mask aside and makes the catch. That's 2 down. So Zahn, 1 out away. He's actually only that hanging pitch that Concepcion hit the right field foul pole with is his only faux pas. And here comes TP Tony Perez. Perez has 1 hit, a single that knocked in a run. He struck out twice and flown to left. He awaits the Zahn offering. Zahn's going to go to the soft stuff, it looks like. He tosses up to Perez a 3-5. 3-5. And that is a shot. And that's going to hit the wall and rattle around. It bounces away from the center fielder, Win. Perez around second and into third. The relay throw is not in time, and that's it for Jeff Zahn. So a 3-5 against a left-handed pitcher. And we got lucky here in a weird way. Homer 1 through 8. We rolled a 14. It's a triple. So Tony Perez, the Reds have been an extra base machine. Stands at third. And that is it for Jeff Zahn. Perez is at third. Bobby Tolan is coming to the plate. And we'll go to Jim Brewer, another lefty, to get Bobby Tolan hopefully out. Reds are up 7-2. And here's Jim Brewer, the 4th Cincinnati Reds pitcher. Again, the starters went short. Grimsley went 2 innings, and we yanked him because he was in all kinds of poop. And prior to that, Sutton got KO'd in the top of the 3rd as he gave up 4 runs. We actually brought Mike Marshall in. Marshall would give up 2 runs. Zahn has given up 1 run. And he's responsible for Perez at 3rd. And here comes Jim Brewer. I almost put him in the wrong spot. And he's a lefty. So it's Jim Brewer. Brewer was 4-4. No saves. He threw 39 innings, and he had a 2.52 earned run average. So it's Jim Brewer to try to get the 3rd and final out against Bobby Tolan. The center fielder Tolan is 0 for 4. 2 outs, Perez at 3rd. The pitch to Bobby Tolan from Jim Brewer, trying to take it to the bottom 9th here and keep it a 5-run deficit. That's a 3-4. Does it close the door? So 3-4, popped up, foul territory. Once again, Yeager throws off the mask. He'll make the catch, and the side is retired. Bobby Tolan pops out to Yeager. So Brewer does his JOB. We go to the bottom of the 9th. The 1972 Reds 7. The 1974 Dodgers 2. 5 to tie, 6 to win. And it's Pedro Borbón. That's going to be it for Pedro. So Pedro Borbón does a beautiful job. He pitches 3 scoreless innings. So Billingham and Bourbon go 6 innings of scoreless relief. After Grimsley, again, pooped himself in the bottom of the third. And here comes Clay Carroll, trying to get the final 3 outs. Alan Shaw, how you doing, my friend? Alan put up... I watched a game this morning, making breakfast, between Kansas City. It was a good game. He was playing payoff pitch. And the second team now slips my mind, but it was a good, close game, and I'm not going to give it away. I think Cleveland. It's not Cleveland, though. That's what happens when you get old. You forget things. But it was a good game. I highly recommend to check it out. Apachatter. No, it's 7-2 Reds. 7-2. They got 2 more in the 6th, and a solo blast by Concepcion with 2 outs. He hit the foul pole and right. So 7-2. We're in the bottom of the 9th, Apachatter. Thank you for rejoining us. And Clay Carroll's going to try to close it out here. It's not a safe situation, but it's a tournament championship, and that's all that matters. And he's going to deal with the Penguin. So actually, let's give you Clay Carroll's numbers, as I got all excited there for a second. 6-4, 2.25, and 37 saves. So it's Clay Carroll. I think Bernie Carbo hit the home run off Clay Carroll in Game 6 of the 75 World Series. I think. I'm trying to remember. And he had 37 saves. And a 2.25. Anderson has put his hopes into Clay Carroll to get these final 3 outs before the Dodgers can score 5 or 6 runs. Here's the pitch from Carroll to the Penguin Ron Cey. That's a 6-10. Carroll's a righty. 6-10. Fly ball center field. Bobby Tolan's a 2 defender. We rolled a 2. Will Bobby Tolan get to it? No, he will not. It will drop in. He makes a diving attempt. He smothers the ball, but it's a single. It's a single. So a single for Ron Cey. And Pedro Bourbon just looks over at Sparky Anderson. And here comes Billy Buckner. Do the Dodgers have their rally caps in them? Buckner came in for an ineffective Tom Paciorek. Paciorek started because of the left-handed pitcher Ross Grimsley. Here's the pitch to Billy Buck. Buckner's 0 for 1. He popped out to second. That's a 4-6 to Billy Buck. Right-hander pitcher. Left-handed batter. 4-6, and he's going to pop out this time to Davy Concepcion. So Buckner pops out once to Morgan and now to Davy Concepcion. Dodgers only 2 outs of life left. The Reds 2 outs away from a tournament victory and legend status. Here's Steve Yeager, the catcher. Yeager asks for time. Clay Carroll doesn't like that nonsense. Yeager has singled, struck out, and grounded to short. Yeager now back in the box. Carroll sneers at him like, that's where you belong, you fat ass. Here's the pitch to Steve Yeager. 6-8. Let's see if Yeager takes umbrage to those looks. 6-8 to Steve Yeager. 6-8. Line shot right at the third baseman, Menke. 2 down. And the Reds are at the top step of the dugout. And it'll be up to Crawford. Cey will be off on contact. They'll hold him sort of close. He'll only be a +1. That's the way we play it all the time for each team. And here's Willie Crawford. Crawford came in to pinch it for Lee Lacy. Lacy was 1 for 2. He singled and scored. Crawford reached on an error by Tony Perez. Dodgers down to their final out. Clay Carroll takes a deep breath. The windup and the pitch to Willie Crawford. And we're going to re-roll that. It was a 5 anyway. That's pretty funny. 1-6. Right-handed pitcher. 1-6. That's a walk. It's a walk. The Dodgers stay alive. The Penguin moves to second. Crawford's at first. And again, Pedro Bourbon just stares at Sparky Anderson in the dugout. He did not want to be lifted. He wanted to be on that mound. And now here comes Rhode Island native, a man, Davey Lopes, who looks up to our good friend Ken Castro. Lopes is 1 for 3. He singled and scored and grounded out twice. Davey Lopes trying to get it to Bill Russell. Don't make the final out. The battle cry for Dodger Blue. Clay Carroll could give two poops about that. Here's the pitch to Davy Lopes. So much hatred in this game. It's beautiful. 1-9 to Davy Lopes. Righty matchup. 1-9. And Lopes drives this ball deep and gone! It is a 3-run blast on the 1-9. 1 through 4. And we rolled a 3, so Davy Lopes does Ken Castro and Rhode Island proud. A 3-run homer. The Dodgers aren't dead, and Pedro Barbone is going spastic in the dugout. Say and Crawford score ahead of Lopes on the home run. Oh my God, bippity-boppity, boom goes Davy Lopes. To the moon, Alice, to the moon. 3 ribbies. And that top step has now gotten really glum. It's now 7-5. Still 2 outs. The bases are empty. Lopes comes out. He didn't want to come out for a curtain call. I mean, they're still down, but he comes out and he tips his helmet. Classy act by Davy Lopes. Wow. Boom goes the ball, and Davy Lopes touched them all. And now can Bill Russell get it to Jimmy Wynn and Steve Garvey? That's the question. Clay Carroll has really just imploded. Pedro Barbone wanted to stay in the game. He's imploded in the dugout and has to be restrained. And now this game has gotten quite interesting. Interesting. Say interesting, Al. You're only drinking coffee. It's not alcohol. Interesting. And Kenny Castro says, my man. And he says, holy moly, Davy Lopes. Alan Shaw, not for children then. No, not for children. We are not for children. We like children, but we're not for children. This is a blood rivalry. Red versus blue. Reds versus the Dodgers. And Clay Carroll. And now, though, there's some bullpen action. And it can't be Pedro Barbone. We already used him. Wow. Tom Hall, who went 9 innings. 9 innings. We can't do that. I want to do that. Tom Hall, he was player of the... Wayne Simpson stunk. Don Gullett. Or Jim McLaughlin. He's a righty. Gullett is a lefty. They're up in the pen. So it's Gullett and McLaughlin. They're up in the pen. Clay Carroll needs one more out. Reds fans are not going to be endeared to Clay Carroll. Bill Russell, can he keep the line moving? This game is now 7-5 on the Davy Lopes 3-run blast. Out of nowhere, Davy Lopes. Here's the pitch. Can Clay Carroll end it now? He deals to Bill Russell. Russell has singled in a run. He's grounded out, struck out, and flown out. The pitch homeward bound. Carroll fires in a 4-3. What will it be? Will this be the end or only the beginning? 4-3. Righty-righty matchup. 4-3. Fly ball to right field. Cesar Geronimo is a 1. We rolled a 9. 1-9 goes to an error check. Geronimo is an E6. Oh my God, will he wear goat horns? E6, we need a high roll. That's a 5. Geronimo goes into the dive. Wait, before make sure. E5. All right, go back here, Al. Geronimo is an E6. Okay, we're looking at the wrong one, Al. E6, and we rolled a 5. And he gets off his glove! Holy poop! E6. 3 through 5 and a 9 is a 2-base error. Oh, my Lord. Russell stands at second. And E9. Unbelievable 2-base error. And this game should be over. Pedro Barbone is tearing up the clubhouse. He's going to get a bill for that. The tying run now comes to the plate in Jim Wynn. Can Clay Carroll absolutely crap himself on this mound? Now, the game should be over. Geronimo drops the ball in right. Russell stands at second. Oh, my God. Jake Cruz says, fight to the bitter end. The original Grognard's at the ballpark. What a ball game. What a return to Dice Baseball on YouTube. And it's Jim Wynn. I got to get my mind off the snow that I'm going to have to be moving probably 2 or 3 times. So it's Jim Wynn. He's walked twice, grounded to short, and flown to left. Let's just take a look at the Jimmy Wynn card here. 271, 32 homers, 108 ribbies. Righty-righty matchup. Clay Carroll is imploding on the mound. 3-run homer. And oh my God, he was 1 out away. And then you had the walk and the single, out walk, and the homer by Lopes. Can Jim Wynn knock in the second home run here? The center fielder. Carroll, bench going out there pleading to Clay Carroll. My God, man, we need 1 more out. The trophy is ours. Now bench back behind the plate. This could be it for Clay Carroll again. Dodgers down to their final out. Fighting to the end for Jake Cruz. Here's the pitch to Jimmy Wynn. 2-9, righty, swing and a miss, and the ball game is over. Carroll reaches back, blows by the fastball by Jim Wynn. Double check on the 2-9 strikeout. And the Reds, my God, was it difficult in the end, but the Reds prevail. Lopes' 3-run homer can only bring him 2 runs close. And that is it, folks. The 1972 Cincinnati Reds, who lost in the World Series to the Oakland Athletics, who finished 95 and 67, defeat the 1974 Dodgers, who ironically also lost to the Oakland A's in the World Series, and they finished 102 and 60. So we have a 7-5 game, and it was bitterly fought to the very, very end. That was a lot of fun. And now Pedro Barbone will celebrate after destroying the clubhouse. Wow. Clay Carroll almost pooped himself. Every time I pitch Clay Carroll in one of my games for Cards and Dice, I bought a lot of seasons. I want to say thank you to our good friend Sean. He's in the Discord. He sent me the 1969 season. That was very kind of him. He didn't have to do that, but he wanted to. He had an extra one. I greatly appreciate it. We're going to put some of those games on the channel. We're going to finish up 83 next, our 83 tournament. Hope everyone's enjoying this stuff. It's kind of fun to do. I enjoy it. It gets my mind off real life. Real life sucks. So, wow. That's all I can say. 7-5 Reds. Who are we going to give player of the game to? Definitely not Clay Carroll. Billingham and Bourbon went 6 innings out of the pen, no runs. Clay Carroll went 1 inning and gave up 3 runs, not good. The win, Grimsley did not qualify for the win. Billingham went 3 innings. We're going to give him the win. He's the winning pitcher. The losing pitcher, an ineffective Don Sutton, he got KO'd in the top of the 3rd when the Reds scored 4 runs. And those extra couple of runs that the Reds eked out, that home run by Concepcion, the 3 runs by the Dodger bullpen cost them. I mean, it would have been 6-5, but the Concepcion homer did come into play, sort of. But anyhow, it was a fun game. So the 1972 Reds win the 70's Gem tournament. This was the set that the Strat-O-Matic put out with teams from the 70's. We did an unboxing of that. So the 72 Reds go 3-0. A lot of fun. They beat the Dodgers 7-5. Carroll gets the save. No, I don't think he gets the save. Because when he comes in, it's not a save situation. I believe that's the way you score it, Alan. I believe that's the way you score it. Thank you to Alan Shaw. Jake Cruz's great game. Check out Alan Shaw. He's got a lot of nice payoff pitch stuff up there. A lot of fun. Thank you to He pitched to the tying run. Yeah, he caused the tying run. So I don't think that's a save situation. He caused it. If you come in and you cause it, it doesn't become a save. I think that's the way it's scored. He came in, and it was a 5-run lead, not a save situation. He almost blew the game. So I don't believe it's a save situation. I could be wrong, but I don't believe it's a save situation. So thank you to Alan Shaw, Jake Cruz, Ken Castro from the great state of Rhode Island. If someone can confirm or tell us about the rule there, I don't think it's a save. Apachatter, Larry Harris, the original Grognard, Sportsman Z. He does a lot of fun strat stuff too. Check out all the wonderful content creators in the chat. Many of them in there. Gillis Theobald. Larry Harris. John St. Baptiste will be happy that the Reds held on. And Philip Reynolds, Clinton Parks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Phantomatic. CP Cards and Dice, our good friend Combat Painter. Mike McAllister. As he says, go Reds, he'll be happy. And that's it, folks. So the stream went 140. Who cares? We had fun. Beatles Eternally says, hello, Beatles! That brought a smile to my face. Thank you. He says, it's not a save. Yeah, because you can't come in. When he comes in, it's not a save situation, Alan. That's why. So, anyhow, I'm glad Beatles is here. How you doing, my friend? Hope all is well. Anyway, it's still freaking snowing. All right. God bless everyone. We're still all here. Let's all be happy. We have no other choice. The other stuff ain't good. Roll with the punches, my friend. Roll with the punches. I got my middleweight set coming soon. I ordered it. I ordered my Glory Days boxing. I have the PDFs, but I can't wait to get there. I'm almost done with my 5-star tournament for the heavyweights. I've been playing a little bit of the Title Bout 2. I'm getting a new PC, and I got to figure out, you got to uninstall and reinstall and the codes and all that crap. So I got to get with Uncle Ron Juckett to help me with that and other things. So anyway, health and happiness. Thank you very much. Love you all. God bless. God bless. God bless. You know what's coming, folks. Peace! Reds win the tournament championship 7-5. It's all great to be alive. Love you all.